Dang it. Oh, that one hit it hard on the frog. Dang it. That was big. Shoot. Over the last decade, I've caught fish in every corner of North America. From California to Mexico, Florida to New York, and all the way up to Canada, documenting it all on video for you guys. Yes, I got it! But as a video creator and instructor, I've generally left out one of the most important and the largest demographics in the world of fishing, and that is the bank beater, the pond prowler, the shore master. Yeah! In this series, I'm making it my goal to fish more bodies of water than I ever have before, but this time, from the bank. My name's Tyler, and this is 100 Ponds. Well, how's it going, folks, and welcome back to TRF. This is 100 Ponds, my series where I'm trying to fish 100 of these things. And I love this series because not only does it allow me to get back to my roots of pond fishing, but it also allows me to teach you guys how to better understand your bodies of water that you fish from the bank. And so if that sounds like something you're interested in, hit that subscribe button. Now, I'm super pumped about this video because this is the most urban 100 Ponds has got yet. We're gonna be catching fish on top water on various different lures, and y'all are not gonna wanna miss it. There's a whole lot of good teaching when it comes to understanding how bass relate to the bank, when it comes to vertical structure and more flat banks. I'm excited to teach you guys all about it today, but I say without further ado, we hop into pond number 38. Now, you may notice there wasn't a drone shot for this pond. The reason is because a subscriber brought this one to me. It's here in the DFW Metroplex, but he didn't want me to expose really any surrounding locations, and so hopefully the fishing is as good as he says it is. I'm excited because it has pretty much a long kind of like canal system kind of going in between some buildings with what looks like relatively clear water, like at least 2-foot visibility. He says there's hardly any small bass in here, just 2.5 to 3+ pounders, and so I'm excited. I've got a jig tied up, black and blue juice jig. I've got a froggy frog, and I've got a thunder cricket. So if you're new here, there usually is a drone shot to expose the next newest pond, but not this first one, just for the sake of this pond. Gosh, yep, there was one. There was one, first cast. I didn't even check if these frogs' hooks are available. There we go. Okay. Perfect. Got him! Oh my gosh! Wow! Oh, that's a stinking nice one. Oh my goodness. Okay, he was right. Holy smokes. Wow. Bring it up in here. What a stinking fish right there to begin. Public city pond fishing on the frog? That's what I'm talking about, baby. Wow. Okay, I like this. Thanks for the spot. We gotta get a picture now. What do we got?
375.
Oh, bigger, okay. I'll get a picture and send it to you. Thank you, beautiful lady. It's a good way to start. If you guys missed my video I put out, I think last week on when is the right time to throw a frog, like how early in the year can you throw it, how late in the year can you throw it, I will leave that video linked in the video description. But right now it's frog season. It's frog time, and I'm excited. Maybe there's 2 fish over there. There was not. Now, the reason why I caught a fish there and the reason why I made my first cast right there was because, one, this little section of the pond here has really only 2 corners. That corner. This section over here is kind of just a big wide open circle. And so corners are a great place to target fishing ponds because they are an intersection of different locations. And then there's also overhanging trees over here that none of the rest of this entire section have. And so even if your cover, your structure is not in the water, if it's over the water, that can cause fish to relate to it because it gives them a sense of comfort of some sort. So that's why if you are pressed for time and you ain't got all day to fish your pond, really just target the individual pieces of structure you can see. I should be having my sunglasses on right now so I could see in the water better. Don't follow what I'm doing, follow what I'm saying, put sunglasses on. Because targeting that visible structure will give you a high percentage chance of intersecting with a fish. Kind of forgot to discuss some conditions that we have today. I would say that it's Post-spawn conditions, probably not many fish on beds here. Not quite summertime yet though. I'm not sweating my tush off yet, so that's how you can tell it's still springtime in Texas. Water temp should be mid 70s, I'm guessing. But these fish should be hungry, aggressive, either fry garters or just cruisers that are feeding up because they're hungry from not eating much during the spawn. Got it. What the heck? It broke my frog off. That person's monofilament totally shredded my braid. What the heck? My frog is now in the middle of the pond. And we ain't got no breeze today to blow it to one side or the other, so I guess I'll be waiting for a while. That was a good cast, I'm not gonna lie. God! Come on! Oh! Making a, what is that, a 70-foot cast at least? Maybe a 100-foot cast with a jig and a 7-foot medium heavy. You gotta set the hook hard and then run backwards. And to catch fish like that, it's difficult. Believe it or not, catching smaller fish is actually harder on a jig than a bigger one. Well, the good thing is the wind has picked up, which means that my frog is now gonna go to that side of the pond. So we'll be getting that once we round the bend. So something that I'm noticing about this pond is that at least these two first sections that we fished here is that the bank, let me bring my chest mount down here. The bank's pretty shallow. And so I'm talking like 4 to 6 inches. And so even though I did catch my first one on top water in relatively shallow water, it was underneath an overhanging tree. I think in open water like this, if there's no cover for the fish to relate to, at least with today's fishing conditions, I don't think there's gonna be many fish just on the bank. You know, if we get to retaining walls like we have over there, it might be deeper water and those fish might be using that as a pathway more, but I think I'm gonna not be too worried about getting too close to the bank here because most of my fish are probably coming somewhere off the drop or in the middle. And y'all know me, I can't fish a jig without giving it the old skip. There's one. Little squirt. Not the size we're after. Hey, stop it. This guy's pretty. He's got some kind of like turquoise-ness to his face. That's kind of cool. So much for the no dinks. If you need to catch dinks, bring me around. Where is my frog? Can't find it. I think it's still out there in the middle. So that floating thing out there is definitely my frog. We've got ourselves a walking topwater. I'm gonna cast it and attempt to snag my frog. I think we got it. Gonna reel it slow, really slow. I don't wanna lose it, and I think this is it. Or we have a can. This might just be a plastic trash bag. Gosh dang it. It's just a Keystone Light can. I've been casting at a can of beer. Where's my frog? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I have found it. I found it. Yes. Got my frog. I never would have found that frog if it wasn't for the red cone of the popping mouth. This frog blended into the scum very well. That was not good. There we go. Oh, got him. Got him. Jeez. That seems big. That is big. That is big. That fish did not eat like it was big. That fish ate like it was small. Gosh, man. Bring it up in here. Major League Fishing, slight touch. Frog seems to be the way to get the big ones today. Our lighting has completely changed. It is totally overcast, windy, some rain might be coming in, and that means top water is gonna pick up. So that last fish catch happened right along these cypress knees. Cypress knees are very well known, oh my gosh, in Louisiana and like South Carolina for holding bass, and obviously these do too. Wow. Stinking wow, folks. You gotta love the old poppin' pad perch. If you ain't picked up this frog, Strike King doesn't want me to call it a frog, but I don't care what they think, it's a frog in my mind. And it's just a perfect mix of finesse and pop. It walks really, really well. And if you want to see a video I made on how to fish the frog, since I'm catching so many fish on it, I will leave that also in the video description. And in all of these 100 ponds videos, whatever I catch them on, I will leave my instructional for that lure or technique in the video description, so y'all can always be entertained by this series and then go learn the master class form of what I'm doing. Wasn't recording, folks, but I was hopping the jig along this wall right next to me and caught one. It was kind of like a last ditch effort. Didn't think I was gonna get one. But it seems like that's always when you do get a bite. It's when you least expect it. When you take your phone out of your pocket to text somebody, when you make a cast that you don't think is gonna result in a fish, that's when they come. So thank you, friend. Man, I love a jig in ponds. I love it. I love it a lot. And guess what? I've got a video on how to fish jigs in ponds that I will also leave below. And a video on how to fish every style of jig. Finesse, arky, football, swim. Come on now, folks. You're here to learn. Oh, God. Dang it. Oh, that one hit it hard on the frog. Dang it. That was big. Shoot. Just didn't get him hooked. I doubt he'll eat the jig, but you never know. Once again, in a corner. Nah, he's gone. Dang it, that fish was big. Just didn't get it in his mouth. Well, we've ran out of high productivity stuff in this section of the pond. I don't like just fishing down random retaining walls unless I'm throwing a reaction bait to cover water. That's why I'm focusing a lot on the corners and the structure that's along the bank, just because there's so much water, and in a short amount of time, I can't just make casts into the middle. I'd never leave this place. Oh! Oh. Yeah, I almost hit their window with my jig. That's something you normally don't have to think about, is a glass window behind you. Oh no! There he goes. That was first cast with the vibrating jig, the Thunder Cricket. All right, so along the wall is the way to go. Got him. Yes, sir. Get around that pipe. Get around that pipe. How big are you? How big are you? Oh my. Hello. 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 How do I get you? Ah! My line is super frayed. He wrapped me around the pole in the middle. I don't want to boat flip him or bank flip him, whatever. He's got it good, so I'm not worried about losing him. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Biggest of the day on the jig. Made a nice skip underneath the bridge on the other side of those pilings. Got me wrapped up for a second, but just keep the tension on and the juice jig will get you fish like this. That's a good one to end the this camera battery on. Heck yeah. See ya. Yeah, we for sure have a fray in my line about 3.5 feet up and all the way down to the jig. Might have been good to flip it onto the bank, but just in case, I played it slow, gave it the old lip. I'm so pumped. So one thing that y'all might not have noticed from that last fish catch is that the hook set was incredibly difficult. And so I had skipped underneath that bridge. I had these branches here to deal with on my right hook set. And so I had no choice with the bridge here and the tree here, but to set it down and underneath these branches right here. And so you kind of got to be aware. That's kind of a step above just knowing how to throw a lure, is how to be aware of your surroundings and how to set the hook properly in order to give yourself the best chance of catching that fish. And I knew the best chance was not impeding my hook set up here. It was not impeding my line down by the bridge. It was setting it sideways. Even though that's not the best jig hook set, doesn't give you the best hookup ratio. It does if you're in a scenario like this. So be aware of your surroundings when you're fishing, because oftentimes you're gonna set the hook on a big one in a totally wrong way and you're gonna lose it. There's one. There's, oh, come on, man. Can't win them all. There we go. There's one. Not a bad one. Not a bad one. On the jig. On the jig. Bring it up. Yes, sir. Beautiful. I just made a cast there with the frog, didn't get anything. Made a cast with a jig, and that seems to be a good pattern for these walls. Top water first. If nothing wants to bite top water, then you give them the jig. And these fish are just really barely eating it and swimming off with it. I love lifting up and feeling my line going this way. Ugh. There's one. Jeez. They're right there in the corner on the jig. Oh, we're killing it today, boys and girls. This is so much fun. I like this a lot. Oh, yes, sir. And I'm willing to bet a lot of money that there's gonna be one more fish, at least, on this bank. It's kind of interesting how every single bite I get on the jig, they are heading into deep water with it. They're never coming at me down the wall. They're never going away from me down the wall. It's like they pin it up against the wall and they turn to deep water to go eat it. Just thought that was interesting. Not really helpful, but interesting. Oh, come on. Oh. I had a bite on the frog. Let's go ahead and get the jig. All right, it didn't work, but it usually does. Always worth a try. Well, folks, that was fun. Well, first off, I want to thank the subscriber, Ricky, for bringing me out here. I love getting the chance to explore ponds that I might not live close to, and here in the Metroplex, we have a lot of ponds. So hopefully you guys enjoyed and learned something. You know, kind of to recap, we caught fish in several different ways, but really just along the bank. Most pond fishing, in my experience, happens along the bank, whether it's tree roots, whether it's a grass line, whether it's just a retaining wall. And so you saw today I caught some fish on a topwater frog on really shallow areas around those cypress tree roots, and then the jig really took over as the fish catcher for the rest of the day. So if y'all want to check out the tackle I used, as always, it is linked in the video description. If y'all could please purchase your tackle using those links. They are affiliate links and they help my channel grow, help me to continue to do this for a living. That would mean a whole lot. If y'all want to see the last 100 ponds video I did, that actually was 3 different ponds, not just one in each video, I will leave it linked up here in this corner for you guys to check out. Again, my name's Tyler. It is always a pleasure to teach you guys how to become better bass anglers and have one heck of a time doing it. We'll see y'all next time right here on TRF.